All right, what's going on, guys? So, I want to talk about some of the mistakes that guys make on a daily basis. And it starts with beating around the bush. A lot of guys are beating around the bush when it comes to life. But most importantly, what I want to talk about in this video is approaching women. Because when you see a woman you like and you want to approach her, instead of lying to yourself and instead of trying to come up with excuses as to why you shouldn't approach her, when you know deep down inside you found her attractive, this comes down to self-esteem issues and self-confidence issues that a lot of guys deal with. And these issues are going to linger on in your life until you face it head on. And the way that you face it head on is living on your edge. Even when you don't, like, a lot of guys are scared. A lot of guys are scared to approach women and go spark up a conversation. So what you need to do is you need to push yourself beyond that edge. You need to go and do it, whether you feel like it or not. Starting today, after you watch this video, you have to say, okay, whenever I see a pretty woman, I'm going to give myself 4 to 5 seconds. Because if you wait longer than that, now you're going to start talking yourself out of it. Now you're going to start coming up with excuses as to why you shouldn't do it. When you could really have what you want if you just went for it. Because the problem is you're beating around the bush because you're thinking of all the possible scenarios that could go wrong. When you do something as simple as driving your car, you know what your objective is. You know where you want to go. So what do? You get in your car and you drive to where you want to go. You go for what you want. And there's nothing stopping you there. Because your mind tells you, I want to go do this. And your body follows. You put your thoughts into action. And you're not stopping yourself. Even though things can go wrong, you can die in a fatal car accident. You don't think about that, though. When you get in your car every single day, you don't think about that. You think about the goal. You want to get to where you want to get. So when it comes to approaching women, all you got to do is think about the objective. You want to go up there, you want to introduce yourself, have a conversation with her. Let your intentions be clear that you want to take her out. You give her your number and you go from there. So the problem that a lot of guys have is they start to think of all the possible scenarios that could go wrong. Stop thinking about that and just go for it, okay? The next point is acting like her friend. This is a point that a lot of guys make this mistake because if you are talking to a woman, whether it is at a bar, whether it is anywhere, it could be out in public, in Target, wherever it is, and you are just having a conversation with her and you haven't made your intentions clear, this is how you end up in the friend zone. Because you're putting yourself in that position because you're not making your intentions clear. Again, you're thinking of all the possible scenarios that could go wrong instead of just going for what you want. Because there's a 50-50 chance she says yes or she says no. And if she says no, it doesn't have anything to do with you. She could have woke up in a bad mood that day. You might not be her type. All these different variables as to why she said no. But when you have low self-esteem and low confidence, you think that her saying no is the end of the world, when it's not. It really isn't. And I'm saying all this with love because I want you guys to win. So what you need to do, you need to make it clear from the beginning. Let her know what it is. You don't want to be her friend, so don't act like it. Don't act like you want to be her friend because that's not what you want, right? So make it clear from the very beginning. The first conversation you guys have should be making your intentions clear from the jump because you're not here to waste your time. As a man, you shouldn't engage in anything that wastes your time. And acting like you want to be a girl's friend when you really don't is wasting your time. You're wasting your time and all your energy, your attention. You're wasting all this. And you could cut to the chase by stop beating around the bush and just getting straight to the point and making your intentions clear. So that way, you either know, yes, I can get what I want, or no, I can't get what I want. Because if you don't go for it, you're not going to get what you want 100%. There's a 0% chance. Next point, looking for her to lead. This comes down to when you beat around the bush and you're waiting for her to lead by throwing you a bat signal. You're waiting for her to bunny hop 2 times, spin around in a circle 3 times, and do a backflip. When this should not even be your thought process. You should just go for what you want, because women out in public, they don't even pay attention to the surroundings. So she could be busy doing something, and you're never going to see this woman a day again in your life, but you find her attractive. You find her attractive, right? So what do? You go up to her and you approach her no matter what. You don't wait for a signal. You don't wait for her to lead you. You don't have to wait for someone to give you a signal for you to go for what you want, because if you do, this will trickle down into other areas of your life. You will stop yourself and you will wait for some type of signal, when in reality, in life, you don't get a signal. You got to go on your own accord and go for what you want. And that also goes with planning a date. Planning when to go out. Instead of asking her all these things. So, when do you want to go out? When are you free? Where do you want to go? What do you like to eat? Instead, let her know, hey, I'm free on this day. You're leading. I'm free on this day. If you're free, come and join me. We're going to go here, have a drink here. I would like you to wear a black dress. You're leading. You're showing leadership qualities. All right? Don't wait for her to lead. Settling for something less. Don't settle for anything less. All right? If this is what you want, you go for it. And this also ties into my first point, beating around the bush. Because a lot of guys will beat around the bush and wait for the woman to give them a signal, and they'll lie to themselves and say, oh, she wasn't that attractive, she wasn't this, she wasn't that, when in reality, you know she was a woman you found attractive. And if you end up getting her, you're going to cling on to her for dear life. You're going to be scared to lose her. Even though you say you're not, you are deep down inside, you're going to care about losing her. And why are you going to care about losing her? Because you know it took you forever to find this girl. Why? Because you didn't go for what you wanted. Instead, you waited for life to happen to you. You waited for her to come to you. You waited for her to give you a signal. So when you finally get a girl like this, now you're going to be holding on to her for dear life. You're going to take disrespect. You're going to allow and tolerate a lot of shit, because you know, and your subconscious mind knows, that you're not a go-getter. Your subconscious mind knows that if this girl leaves you, God knows when you're going to find another girl that bunny hops 3 times, spins twice, and does a backflip. Instead of, if your mind knows that you are a go-getter, you know, if this girl doesn't act right, I can replace her ass. Bye-bye. So your mind knows, if this girl doesn't act right, I'll go find me another one. Because you know what you're capable of. You know how you got her, you can get the next one. Because you know if you see something you like, you go for it. And it won't be too long before you find something new. But when you are living in scarcity and you are living with this fear mentality of what could go wrong, and you're waiting for her to lead you, she's going to sense that. And she's going to start testing you. And she's going to get closer and closer to your core and see that you're not really about what you talk about. And the last point is getting comfortable. Guys, please don't get comfortable. All right? Whether it is planning a date, taking her out, just because you know her for a long time doesn't mean that now you guys can just not do anything. anything fun, anything exciting. It doesn't mean that now you don't have to put effort into your appearance. It doesn't mean that now you don't have to go to the gym and get fat as hell, even though she tells you, yeah, I'm gonna like you regardless. That's cap. So make sure you stay your ass in the gym. Make sure you don't get all goofy. Make sure you stay seductive. Make sure that, you still smell good. You gotta be on point with these things. You can't get comfortable and now treat her like she's a friend. Now you suddenly start telling her all your past trauma. You start telling her all your deepest secrets. Because why? You're getting comfortable. You're starting to get into that friendly vibe instead of seductive. Alright guys, I hope this video helped you guys out. Like the video, comment down below, and subscribe.